Good morning, guys, or good afternoon, or good evening. Today we're going to be making tiramisu. So first we're starting off with the lady fingers. So for the lady fingers, you have 480 grams of egg whites. That's approximately 8 large eggs, 200 grams of sugar, 9 yolks, 100 grams of cornstarch, 100 grams of bread flour. So you're going to sieve the cornstarch and bread flour together. So in the mixer, I have my egg whites. I'm going to whip that on high speed until it foams. You want a nice firm peak. And then after, I'm going to slowly add my sugar to that for about 1 minute. Make sure your bowl is clean and cold. Your egg whites will whip much faster. So if you didn't want to make ladyfingers, you could buy Saviardi cookies and use those for your tiramisu. As you can see, the egg whites are starting to firm slowly but surely. As you can see, it's forming nicely. Now I'm going to slowly add my sugar. Nice steady stream. Okay, sugar's been added. So you're going to mix that for about a minute till you achieve a nice firm peak. Okay, so that's my minute. As you can see, you can put it over your head to test it. Now I'm going to add my yolks. So you know what? I'll get a bigger bowl so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And I'm going to add my yolks to this. So I'm folding this lightly. Okay, so that's nicely incorporated. Now I'm going to add my bread flour and cornstarch that's been sifted. Fold that in. Add the rest of my flour mixture. So I'm just lifting the flour mixture into the egg mixture. Okay, so that's mixed in. Now you're going to take a piping bag with a number 5 start plain tube. First, what you're going to do, you're going to take your cake rings and you're going to draw 4 circles on your parchment paper. My number 5 star tube with my piping bag. So you want to make sure that this has a lot of volume. So don't overmix so it will not deflate. Okay, now I'm going to draw 4 circles, even pressure, 90-degree angle, starting from the center. Okay, one down. Two. So I'm applying even pressure all the way around. Oops, there's an air pocket in there. Last one. And then I'm going to take some granulated sugar, sprinkle sugar on the top of that. And then you're going to bake this in the oven at about 350, 375 for about 10 to 12 minutes. So it's a nice golden brown color. And then with the rest of the mix, you're going to pipe some fingers. Let's see how good you are at piping. Okay, 90-degree angle. Bring it down, squeeze, and stop. You pretty much want the fingers the same thickness. So you want to make sure you have enough fingers to go around your cake rings. And same with these. Place granulated sugar on the tops of them. And then in the oven it goes. It's about 10 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to be making the filling for the tiramisu. And for the filling, we have 500 grams of whipped cream. You're going to whip that cream to a soft peak or medium soft. Here you go. Magic of TV. Mascarpone cheese, 500 grams. 200 grams of sugar. So you're going to need 100 for the and 100 for the egg whites. So that's 5 yolks, 50 grams of brandy, 50 grams of water, 6 gelatin sheets, bloom them. If you don't have gelatin sheets, you have gelatin powder. So one gelatin sheet weighs about 2 grams, so you're going to need at least 12 grams of gelatin powder. And when you're mixing the gelatin powder, you have to mix that in water over hot boiling water. And then you have 150 grams of egg whites, that's approximately 5 egg whites. Okay, so in the mixing bowl I have my cream cheese. I'm just going to mix that in until it's somewhat softened. You don't want to over mix this because you don't want it grainy or it'll split on you. Okay, so that's softening up nicely. So I have my yolks here. I'm going to add my 100 grams of sugar to that. I'm going to whisk this. And I'm going to place it over a water bath. Before I do that, let me scrape this down to make sure the cream cheese is properly blended. Okay, so that's softened nicely. So now I'm going to take my and whisk this over my stove and my water. You're going to whisk that so it somewhat thickens and turns lighter in color. Keep whisking. If you stop, you'll cook the sides of the bowl. So you want this thick and light in color. So this is a great workout for you today. You got to be careful not to tip the pot over. So as you can see, it's getting lighter in color and it's starting to thicken. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. Now you're going to take this egg mixture, you're going to place it in your bowl with the mascarpone cheese. Mix that in together. Just want to soften this mascarpone cheese. And this is Philadelphia cream cheese. This cheese is a little on the lumpy side, so it's going to take a little more beating. Okay, so that's pretty much softened. So I've over a water bath, I took my water, brandy, and my bloom gelatin, softened the gelatin, and now I'm going to pour this into my mixture. Now I'm going to take my cream, I'm going to fold that into my mascarpone mixture. It's not breaking down. So I'm going to take my whisk and just mix that in. More cream. So be gentle when you're doing this because you don't want to split this. Okay, see the consistency there? Nice and creamy. Now I'm going to take my egg whites. Get my egg whites. Fold that into my mix. This is going to make this filling much lighter. And the rest of my whites. Fold that in. Okay, as you can see, it's mixed in nicely. Almost. Alright, so the filling's ready to go. Now we're going to set up our tiramisu. As you can see here, here are the discs that I made. Not easy to lift. So I'll take my palette knife just to release that. I don't want to ruin my beautiful work. There you go, look at that. Okay, it's all loose. Here are the fingers that I made. They look like lady fingers. Just gonna release these. Be careful not to break them. Okay, just put that aside. So over here, I have my cake board. This is a 9-inch cake board with my 7-inch cake ring. And place that on the board. I'm going to take my disc, place that right in the center. Okay. And now I'm going to take my fingers. What I'm going to do, just going to snip a little of the edge off. So that way they will hold nicely along the cake ring. You want to make sure the sugar side is facing outwards. And you want to place them close together. Just want to make sure I have enough fingers. If I don't, I guess I have to use one of mine. Doesn't that look amazing? So if you're doing this at home, cut this recipe in half, because this is enough for 2. And that was a little short. Okay. Okay, here I have some coffee syrup. So it's just simple syrup, equal parts water, sugar, and some espresso. It's up to you how much you want to put in there. So I'm just going to take this, just base the bottom of this. You could also add Tia Maria to this espresso, just to enhance the flavor a little more. Okay, now I'm going to take my mascarpone mix, my filling, and place that right on top of the circle. Okay, I'm just going to take my disc. It's just a little too big. Push that down. Same with the other. More coffee. And then top this with more of my filling. Only about 3/4 of the way up. If you have leftover filling, you can make individuals. You could put them in a plastic cup. Put fingers on the bottom, then mascarpone, then fingers. Just alternate. Just gonna spread this out. And after this is ready, I'm gonna place it in the fridge for about an hour. Or if you have a big walk-in freezer, just place it in your walk-in freezer for half an hour until this is nicely set. Once this is set, I'm gonna dust cocoa powder on the top of this. And there you have your finished tiramisu.